Did you bring up
yes,
the dog?
enough, Stuart.
With Trump. Did you
this
bring
interview
up the dog
is
with Trump?
ridiculous, what you were doing right now.
I don't
so
think
you
so.
need to stop. It is.
What we've seen happen this week with Kristi Noem, the Republican governor of South Dakota, and the interview after interview in which her lies are exposed, or apparent lies are exposed, about her supposed meetings with Kim Jong Un, her supposed visits to North Korea, all of which for now we have no evidence of whatsoever. We are seeing the crumbling of an elected official, the likes of which we haven't seen for a while, and it is a self-imposed crumbling. This is self-destructive behavior. The backstory, if you haven't been following it, is that first, attention went to Kristi Noem's book released yesterday because it contained a story presented as her heroic making of tough decisions where she killed a 14-year-old dog with a gun on her farm. And she presented the story as, when it gets difficult, I can do what needs to be done. Animal lovers from all political stripes found it pretty vile. And really the problem was that she thought it was a worthwhile story to include that would paint her in a good light. Even if sometimes you have to put down an animal on a farm, the idea that this is the anecdote or the excerpt, as she called it yesterday, that would make her look good is just incredibly poor judgment. But then it started to get weirder. There was an anecdote about her meeting with Kim Jong Un and her belief about how Kim Jong Un would react. But then when she was asked, did you meet Kim Jong Un? She won't answer. And 1, 2, 3, 4 interviews were done about this where she would not answer. And so we are led to wonder, did she make it up completely? Is there some classified meeting she had that now she's realizing for security reasons must be removed from the book? Doesn't seem particularly likely. She voiced the audiobook where she read that, and it didn't strike her as something that should have been removed. Only now that it is in the spotlight is she saying, oh, that never should have been in the book. So this is getting worse and worse, and now Kristi Noem has lost it with Stuart Varney, Fox News host. She says to Stuart, this interview is ridiculous. You need to stop. She doesn't like the fact that she is being asked questions about the substance of her book. Arguably, all of these interviews should have been canceled. That's many of you are writing to me saying, David, at this point, she's just a liar. She shouldn't get any interviews and opportunities to sell the book. Let's listen to what she had to say.
Still think that you are in line to be Trump's vice president?
No, it's up to Donald Trump. He's the only person who will decide this. He's the only person who will decide. And yes, I do speak to him.
May I ask what he said to you about being vice president?
I never tell anybody my personal conversations with
Did the dog story
President
come up
Trump.
in a conversation with
I talk to President Trump all the time.
About the dog?
About a lot of things. And right now, I tell you what, he is being persecuted in a political witch hunt in this court case. So I'm proud of him about how tough he is and how well he is doing.
Did you bring up the dog?
Yes, enough,
with Trump?
Stuart.
With Trump? Did you
this
bring
interview
up the dog
is
with Trump?
ridiculous, what you were doing right now.
I don't
so
think
you
so.
need to stop. It is.
Okay.
It is.
We'll
Let's
stop.
talk about some real topics that Americans care about.
I'm afraid we're out of time.
Oh, well, of course we are.
We do thank you for being with us.
Right.
I know I pressed hard, but that's what people are talking about to this day.
Yeah.
Governor Noem, thanks for joining us.
Thank
We
you.
appreciate it.
You bet.
It is, listen, I am not one to defend Stuart Varney, who is known for just absurd interviews, which we've covered time and time again. But Kristi Noem is the one who wants to sell her book. She wants no serious questions. She doesn't want to answer the obvious questions that any sane person would ask. And when you're losing Stuart Varney, when you're losing Newsmax, as I will show you in a moment, you know that things aren't going well. And here is, this is now Newsmax, where a Newsmax host tells Kristi Noem, I think you've destroyed your shot at being Donald Trump's vice president with the absurdity surrounding this book. And you know what? I think he's right.
I agree with you there. But going back to what you said a moment ago, maybe not lying to the American people. And I think this is important to talk about because the book's called No Going Back, the truth on what's wrong with politics. And I think part of the problem with politics today is that politicians aren't honest with the American people. So if you asked me a month ago, who's at the top of the list to run with Donald Trump, I would have said your name.
Right.
If you asked me that same question this morning, I don't even think you're on the list.
Really?
So my question
And
for
why
you,
is that?
yes, really, and it's because of things that have come out in this book, like your claims that you met Kim Jong Un, and then over the last week,
I've been to the DMZ. I've been to every.
She sounds stupid at this point. She sounds stupid. He says, your claim in the book that you met Kim Jong Un is a problem. And she says, I've been to the DMZ. Okay. What difference does that make? That's not evidence that you met with Kim Jong Un, which was in the book. It's not evidence that you went to North Korea, which was in the book. The DMZ is a buffer zone between North and South Korea. She's lost. All of these interviews should have been canceled. There's speculation that she agreed to do this press tour months ago, and now she has to do it because her publisher set up all of these interviews. But this is pathetic. This is pathetic. And you know what? Newsmax guy is right. I don't think she's even in the conversation with Trump as far as being VP anymore.
Did you stare down Kim Jong Un? Let me, Governor, 1 second. I will give you an opportunity to respond. I just want to get this out there. So here's the quote from the book. You say that, I remember when I met North Korean dictator Kim Jong Un. I'm sure he underestimated me, having no clue about my experience staring down little tyrants. Governor, that never happened, did it?
What I have said in the book is that when I became aware of the content, that we had it changed. And that's the way that it is. So I should not have put that anecdote in the book. I'm not going to talk about my meetings.
But an anecdote indicates that it happened, right?
I'm not going to talk about my conversations with world leaders. I've been involved in policy for 30 years.
Really?
For 30 years, I've been traveling the world, talking to world leaders.
All right, anyway, this is the same answer. I'm not going to subject you to the same nonsense. Once again, she's told, you lied. You said you met Kim Jong Un and you didn't. And she goes, I've been to the DMZ. I've been speaking to world leaders, but I don't talk about my conversations with them. Well, except you did in the book. Now, when you've lost Fox News, when you've lost Newsmax and you're a Republican, it is over for you. One more clip going back to the Varney interview. Varney asks her, if you were writing the book today, would you still include the dog story? She doesn't even answer that.
That I just want him to win and that I'll do whatever I can to help.
If you were writing the book today, would you include the dog story?
You know, this is a wonderful book. Did you read the book?
Not yet.
Oh, you should. The first chapter.
But the question stands.
The whole first
chapter. If you were writing it today,
yes, I'm
would
proud
you
of this
include
book.
the dog story?
I'm proud of this book. If you read the first chapter, it's all about when this rioting started. When you turn on the news today and all you see that's happening on these college campuses and what's going on with supporting Hamas.
She's not very good. She's just not good at this. She's not good at changing the topics.
And the pro-terrorist organizations. The first chapter in this book covers the riots that happened at the RNC at the White House and how that started with Antifa and the fact that this president that's in the White House, Joe Biden, will not shut
Remember, the question was about killing a dog. She's talking about Antifa.
Down, and that they're chanting hatred towards the Jewish people and exterminating them. That's what people should be talking about, Stuart.
Your political
so I know that a lot of people are using attacks and trying to take me down because they're scared of me. Listen, I've run 12 campaigns and all I've done is one. I win everything that I do.
Support you on shooting the dog.
I'm honest. Well, I've heard a lot of people. I've heard a lot of people that say, listen, this was 20 years ago. 50 states.
We're consumed with emails.
50 states have a law on the books.
You're going to be on, and we've been consumed with emails saying, I won't vote for this person. I won't vote for Trump if he puts her in the vice presidential spot.
Well, I'll tell you, Stuart, I'm sorry you're not hearing from real Americans that live on farms and ranches.
There you go. So the farm and ranch Americans love the dog shooting story. It's over for her. It's over. She's not going to be Trump's VP. She did have a shot. She was considered a top contender. It is over. I am not a betting man. If I were to bet money, I would bet that she's not even being discussed at this point by the Trump team. It's getting warmer out there, so make sure you're prepared. Unfortunately, for some of the gentlemen, the weather warming up does have a downside, and it's the sticking and the readjusting and the chafing when the humidity kicks in. But our sponsor, Sheath Underwear, will keep you comfortable. Sheath is the underwear ergonomically designed with separate compartments in the front, keeping everything comfortable, dry and fresh all day long. No more moisture, chafing. Everything can breathe. You won't even realize how much you needed this until the first time you try it. Sheath underwear is especially awesome to sleep in. It's a whole new level of comfort at night you didn't even know was possible. Many colors and varieties to choose from. You'll find something you like. They even have a line of super quality women's underwear designed with comfort in mind. Sheath has more than 10,000 five-star reviews, fast shipping, and world-class customer service. Go to sheathunderwear.com/Pacman and get 20% off with the code Pacman, and the link is down below.